I don't know how much of an unpopular opinion this is, but me personally, so I go to a non-dom church, and they sing songs that are contemporary worship music. And okay, so not that there's anything wrong with it, but here's the thing: it's just boring. All right, I'm sorry to say, it's just the music is boring to me. It all sounds the same. It has like similar notes to it. Now I'm not gonna hate on the worship team or anything. They do a good job all the time. They do great. They make great music. Like they can sing. They play instruments well. Everyone. There's a time and place for contemporary worship music. But in my opinion, it's so boring. I'm sorry to say. If you're a Christian who likes that music, good for you. I'm glad you like it. But me personally, I just don't like it. And also too, a lot of the stuff I've noticed with contemporary worship music is that a lot of it just sounds clean and it sounds polished and it just sounds kind of like, oh, I'm so happy. Jesus saved me. That means nothing can go wrong. Everything is going well. Nothing is going to go wrong ever again. Yay. And it's just like, that's not how life works. That's not how life is. There's evil in the world and it's going to happen. It could come at someone from all sides. Like you don't know what could happen, what life can bring you. So that brings me to my topic. So my topic for this video is that Christian music should be talking about darker themes. I wish it would go through more darker themes. It makes it more interesting. And I'm not saying every single song should be dark or anything. Of course not. It doesn't mean every song should be, oh, woe is me. Oh, why is the earth so bad? Oh, everyone's evil. Everything bad's happening. Like it shouldn't be like all like that. But at the same time, it really shouldn't be all happy either. It shouldn't be just, oh, look at me, I'm so happy, nothing can go wrong in my life because I have Jesus, he fixed all my problems. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's two ends of the spectrum here. First, you got the happy stuff that seems too clean to be relatable, and then you got the dark stuff that's too dark and it's too down, Debbie Downer, basically. It's too much of a downer to listen to, and it'll get people depressed, probably. But me personally, I wish contemporary worship music should talk about darker themes, like maybe the loss of a loved one, or wars everywhere. You know how bad and destructive wars are, and or like, uh, you know, no one cares about the children anymore. Let's just put it that way. The children are lost. We should be making, and even in the Bible, we should be making songs about Bible content that's more on the darker side. Because let me tell you right now, some of the best bands, the best Christian bands I listen to are Flyleaf and Theocracy. I brought them up once in a previous video. And they have such fire stuff. They're so great. And one of the ways I'm drawn to them is because, well, first of all, I do love heavy metal type music, if that's what you classify it. I like that type of music, but also they touch on themes that are not so, that are messy, that are dark, that talk about the human experience. And I love how it does that. It just makes it more intriguing, and it makes it more relatable and more, you know, understandable to listen to. So, and I wish we could talk about it more. The world is not a polished, clean place that every problem will just go away. I mean, every problem will go away, but that's when Jesus comes back, and we haven't gotten there yet. So, in the meantime, let's make songs that have more darker themes. Let's talk about, grief. Talk about grief in a song as a Christian. Or, I've written a song about this before. Being afraid to preach the gospel, even though you know it's true. Even though you know you're supposed to. Like, maybe someone's afraid of preaching the gospel because they're scared to get laughed at or they're scared to be awkward. Let's not shy away from this stuff. It's real, and it'll show people, other Christians, it'll like show the body of Christ, like stuff like this happens in the world. And it'll give us brothers and sisters in Christ a chance to lean on each other and look into what we're going through, look at our struggles. And so that those are some of the topics that I wish would be explored. Um, or just simply being mad at all the evil going on. There's so much evil going on, especially in this day and age. The 2020s is pretty much a dark decade, really. 2010s, 2000s, it was just more lighthearted, but now the evil's being exposed for what it is. And so why not make songs about this? Let's make songs that touch on darker themes. And I wish that we could just do that. I would love to hear more songs like that, which is why I'm grateful to listen to Flyleaf and Theocracy. And yeah, and so yeah, I wish songs would also, I mean, all right, my favorite type of Christian music is heavy metal. It just sounds good to my ears. I like the way it sounds. Because, contemporary worship music sounds the same and, they always add a lot of the same lyrics. But I will say this contemporary worship music does have good lyrics. I like the lyrics. It's just the beat. I want a good beat and good lyrics. And Theocracy and Flyleaf fit that category. And also, we should talk about things in the Bible that are barely talked about, Because, everyone likes to talk about their testimony, like, oh, I'm saved. I was living a bad life, but now I'm saved. Jesus saved me. But you know what we should be singing about? Cain and Abel, first of all. I wrote a song about Cain and Abel. We should talk about Bible stories in songs. Like, we should sing about Bible stories. The dark songs and the light songs. Like, what else? Theocracy. They made a song called, I've been listening to it lately, it's really good. I discovered them recently, and they made a song a while back called Altar to the Unknown God, which talks about how Paul is telling the Greeks that you worship, the God you worship is unknown, but the unknown God is actually the God of the heavens and the earth, basically Jesus. And that's how Paul preaches to them because the Greeks are worshiping a God that they don't even know. Like, what? How do you worship something you don't know? And that's where Paul comes in and he preaches to them and tells them there is a God. He does have a name. He is the truth. And and it talks about how the Greeks have like philosophers and scholars and all that. It brings that up in the song. And I'm over here like, this is a Christian song that no one ever makes. Like, no one talks about this. Why are we singing about this? That would make Christian music 10 times cooler. Like, dude, imagine a song I want to write, because I like to write songs. I want to write a song that talks about how, get this, if you didn't know about this already, the Pharisees, we all know the Pharisees, right, in the Bible. The Pharisees, basically, they're held accountable. They're being held accountable from Abel's death up until the death, I think, of Zechariah the prophet. Like, dude, that is so many. They're held accountable for so many things. I want to make a song about that because that is crazy. And it's just like, that's a darker theme, Like, the fact that a person is going to be held accountable for, like, literally the prophets who have been killed from the beginning of time up until their time, up until the Pharisees' time. I'm like, dude, that is a crazy sentence that Jesus put on them. They are going to be judged, let me tell you. And I think we should make a song. We should make songs about that. Like, we should make songs about Bible stories. Like Samson. Like, we should make songs about him. We should make songs about David, his life and his struggles. And, like, we should make songs about these types of things. And so, yeah, it's like we need to touch on darker topics too. That makes it more interesting. It makes it more just relatable. It makes it more human, Even though God is God, He's God, He's perfect, but we're fallible human beings. We don't have to pretend like everything's okay. We can talk about the darker things. I just know, evangelicals, 'cause that's what I am. I love you guys so much. You guys are great. You contributed so much to the kingdom of heaven. The thing is, we need to like make different types of worship music though. Just, you know, we need to touch on stuff that isn't really touched on in music. It's more poetic that way. Like we should do that. That would be so cool. Like let's use our God-given talents to talk about stuff in the Bible that's like overlooked. Like who would have thought to make a song about Paul preaching to the Greeks that there is a God and it's Jesus and that you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of surprised. Like I'm surprised Theocracy made that. I'm like, wow, that's a cool song. They also made a song called Tower of Ashes about the Tower of Babel. We should make songs about the Tower of Babel. And no, I don't mean making a baby song about it like this is what happened in the Tower of Babel happened. Like no, we're not kid songs either. I'm talking actual songs sung by Christians who have a poetic way of writing songs. We need to make a songs like that. I'm just saying, like, I want to talk about this more, but I don't want to make the video too long. So, but yeah, I just want to tell you that right now. Like, we need to make more songs that touch on dark topics. I really want some. That's why I like Christian heavy metal music. Granted, we shouldn't be overdoing it, but there's a time and place for both happy stuff, sad stuff, angry stuff. Like, you know, God's been giving me so many song ideas for things. And also, Christians don't necessarily have to make songs about the Bible. They can make like a secular song, but as long as there are Christian themes in it. So that's fine too. But if we were to make songs about the Bible or Christianity, let's delve into the topics that are more like that are darker. Because that makes it just way more cool to me. It's more intriguing. It makes Christian music more interesting to listen to. It makes it more profound and deep, and I just love it. That's why I love Theocracy and Flyleaf, and I don't know if any other artists do that I listen to. I'm not sure. Those are the main ones I listen to, and yeah. Also, since I'm on the topic of this, like Flyleaf, uh, they made a song called. This is like one of my favorite songs by them. They made a song called Chasm, and it has to do with literally the guy, the rich man in Lazarus, that the rich man, he's literally suffering in hell. That's what the song is about. Him suffering in hell. Talking about how he wants to warn his family not to go there and stuff like that. It's like that song did more for me than the contemporary worship music ever did at church. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to say. Cause I like my church and I love it. It's a great church and I love it. It's just that the music, I wish we could talk more about the darker themes in the Bible. But not going too dark or anything where it's like a downer or. But yeah, like I mean, Jesus died on the cross. I mean, people hated him so much and he did nothing wrong. You see, that's dark already. You see what I'm saying? That's dark right there. And so, yeah, so if you're a Christian out there, what do you think? Like, do you think we should listen to darker type songs? Should we make more of those? Because as long as the dark music has light at the end and but even if it doesn't, it just shows the human struggle of living on a fallen world, living in a fallen world. Because we live in a fallen world and things are going to happen that we don't like, but we can look to Jesus and look to heaven and look up and just be like, all right, well, everything's gonna be all right in the end at one point, at some point. So yeah, so tell me what you think, Christians, and if you're not a Christian, honestly, this would be good for non-Christians. I think they would like it too. I think non-Christians would really like this type of music because just the evangelical, my denomination's type of music, they're just too happy. It doesn't really seem like it applies. It only applies to certain type of Christians and not to all people as a whole. But if music is like darker and it doesn't sound the same, it has its own songs, had its own sounds to it, that would make non-Christians gravitate towards it. So yeah, so that's all I'm gonna talk about right now. I want to talk about this for like 2 hours or something, but I can't. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? What do you Christians think? And if you're a non-Christian, what do you think? Would you like to hear more songs that have darker themes? I think you would, and honestly, understandable, because so do I, and I want to write more songs like that. So, and besides, there's always hope to look to at the end, so that's always good. So, peace out. See you next time.